Jazz in July is a 2-week intensive workshop, pretty much running 2 one-week sessions, where we bring in participants, students of jazz who wish to hone their skills and study with some of the country's and the world's best jazz performers and educators. So we bring them all here to Amherst for 2 weeks, and they do master classes, clinics. We put together combos, and we create situations where they get to interact with these faculty members to help kind of get a really intense focus on jazz improvisation and jazz culture in general. It's a very, very challenging week for the performers in time and ability. The big thing is that we have no top age limit, so we get a very wide variety of ages. I think this year our youngest person is 14 and our oldest person is over 65, maybe even 70, and so that's a great situation. A lot of people might think that would be a problem because of different mindsets, but we create an environment where music's the only unifying factor. So we try to just take away age differences and cultural differences and bring everybody to the musical table, because we're all on the same path musically. You know, somebody might be a little farther down the road than the other, but it's all the path as we see it. And so that's one big factor. I think another big factor is that we make a point to stay very rooted in the traditions of jazz and improvisation. So we put very high emphasis on being able to read changes, being able to improvise in various different styles. We really cater to the nuts and bolts, and we make sure that using those nuts and bolts, you can apply that to your creative sense and style so that you can take the music to where you want to.
I just love singing jazz and the lyrics.
Take it out in time, honey. Just take it out in time. I learned how to teach by teaching. I did not go to school to become a teacher. Unfortunately, we didn't have the kind of money to go to school. And anyway, there weren't any jazz schools when I was coming up, so we learned everything by listening and, And I was lucky, because I spent my high school years in Detroit, so I grew up with Tommy Flanagan and Barry Harris and Kenny Burrell, so we all hung out together. So a lot of that things that they taught me, I put into teaching the students now.
She just taught me so much past 4 days. I feel like I've grown so much last 2 weeks as a singer.
I mean, the experience has been really good. I've learned a lot about putting together lead sheets and charts and just things that I didn't know. I've learned the names for stuff that I've done but didn't know what it was called.
I give them constructive criticism, but I do it with love. So that's the way I teach. So the kids that I've had are wonderful. And this crop this year are fantastic.
Jazz in July has opened up all different possibilities and connections, and seeing other people and what they do and how much work you actually have to put in is a really great experience.
How old are you?
I'm 16.
Try to create performance situations that are very real world. One of our most popular performances for our participants is called Club Jazz in July. And Club Jazz in July, we basically take a floor of our campus center and turn it into a nightclub with an audience, and we sell merchandise, and we create a situation where the player feels like they're out working, and we want them to get that experience. And that's part of our program, is that we're not only creating artists, but we want to also create working musicians. We want to create those musicians who can go out and enrich the world and become productive members of society. So that's a big part of our participant performances. Our faculty performances are really to inspire our players, to let them know what their capabilities truly can take them. And we have such great faculty members. I mean, when you put Sheila Jordan on stage and you've got 15 vocalists watching her every move, because they know that just a little bit of what she's got can get them to where they hope to be. is so inspiring. And so our faculty performances play a real mentorship role towards our players. And then in the community around looks to Jazz in July for their summer jazz programming. We do get those who we've watched grown up and have come to the program 3, 4, even 5 times sometimes, and we've seen them kind of come up in their ability.
Great, so I'm just letting you know.
Christian, I believe his first year here was 2007. Fantastic young pianist. Met Dr. Billy Taylor here, and they created. Their friendship grew from that moment on, and Billy became his teacher, became his mentor. And now Christian is on the road with Christian McBride, has albums to his credit, has been on the Grammys twice. Yeah, I mean, the list goes on and on with Christian. He is just a shining star, and we're just happy to have been a little part of his growth.
I first met Dr. Taylor there, and ever since then, I mean, Jazz in July has helped me just grow, not only as a musician, but just as a person, you know, and I've met so many great people here, and so many great musicians, and it's a great time.
It's watching the metamorphosis from Monday to Friday of the students growing, and it's just shocking how through these teachers and this program, the intense program, they're not the same people when they leave here. They're much more mature musically.
We cram it into their brain while they're here. They might not get it all, but when they go home, they start to it unfolds as the year progresses, and they probably, hopefully, will want to come back the next year because they want to get more of that.
I always leave with something new every time. I never come back sound like the same way I did last year.
Jazz in July. It's freaking awesome.
I'm Django Skarupa. I play piano. I'm 14. They're strict and tough, but I've probably learned more in the past 2 weeks than I've learned in the past 2 years.
The people here are great to play with and also as people.
One of my dearest friends had to be, because it didn't matter whether thick and thin. We were in all sorts of things. He made many opportunities for me too. There will never be another Billy Taylor, I don't think, because he's an individual, but he cared about the music.